All right, so we are live on the Doug Survival Show. It's about 1:30, but I'm busy the next few days, so I just want to go over my NFL Week 11 picks for this upcoming week. Let's start with Seattle and Arizona. Arizona is playing great football right now. You know, earlier in the year, on my podcast, I said Arizona, Kyler Murray's going to have an MVP type season, and he is currently proving it. So for me, between Arizona and Seattle, I'm going to have to go with Arizona on this one. I just think they're too good right now. Kyler Murray's on a roll. DeAndre Hopkins is on a roll. And don't be surprised if Larry Fitzgerald gets a Super Bowl championship this year, because I think they could be one of those underdogs once the postseason starts. Philadelphia with Cleveland. You look at the Eagles. I mean, you look at any team in the NFC East, it's a mess. So, you know, based on the way Philly's playing, I truly have to go with the Cleveland Browns on this one. I just think they're the better team right now because, you know, Philly's, they're struggling big time. Green Bay versus Indianapolis. I think it's obvious that Green Bay is the pick on this one. I truly love what Aaron Rodgers is doing right now. Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, they're playing great football, and I think they could be one of those teams that make it to the Super Bowl in the NFC. They're just playing great football right now. Atlanta versus New Orleans, and with Drew Brees going down to injury, I just think that the Falcons are due for a win against this team, especially with Jameis Winston going to be the quarterback. You have Brees out, and Winston, I don't know what he has right now, so I like Atlanta in this one. Cincinnati versus Washington. I just think Joe Burrow is tired of losing, and he truly wants to win. And he's going to do everything he can against Washington. So for this, I'm going with Cincinnati. Detroit versus Carolina. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is the answer for the Carolina Panthers. I see them maybe getting like a Justin Fields, depending how fast they fall in the draft. I think they're 3-7 right now, so they're not too bad. They're not able to get a Justin Fields unless they trade down. Matthew Stafford, he's having an average year in my opinion, but they're due for a win too, Detroit. And up next, Pittsburgh versus Jacksonville. Pittsburgh, I think they could go to the Super Bowl. I think they can win the Super Bowl. Tennessee versus Baltimore. This is going to be an interesting game, but for me, I got to go with Tennessee. I just think that they are due for a win. I believe they're like 6-4 or something like that. They haven't been playing consistent. They started the year, I believe, like 4-0, and they went in a slump. But they're due for a win. Patriots versus the Texans. I truly see the Patriots going on a roll. I truly see it. They're 4-5 right now. I see them finishing like 9-7 or 10-6. I just think this is the start because when you have Bill Belichick, he's not going to let their teams go down without a fight. And Cam Newton wants to prove something. And so does Belichick. Belichick wants to prove that he can win without Brady. The Jets versus the Chargers. I think the Chargers are due for a win. They're 2-8, but they haven't lost more than 7 points in a game. So Herbert's a great quarterback. Jets obviously a mess. So I'm gonna have to go with the Chargers on this one. Mikey the Busboy is definitely proud of me for picking his Chargers. Dallas and the Vikings. Again, I think this is the same situation for the Vikings with the Patriots. I see the Vikings making a playoff push. I see them finishing like 9-7 and heading to the NFC playoffs. We're gonna go with Las Vegas and Kansas City. I see Las Vegas pulling this one out. They're proving a lot of people wrong right now. 6-4. Derek Carr should be in the conversation for MVP. Josh Jacobs has been performing well. The whole Raider team is playing great, and I truly see Las Vegas pulling out a win in Las Vegas. Miami versus Denver. I think the Miami Dolphins are going to be a threat in that AFC East. Buffalo, tough game against Arizona. Tough heartbreak loss. And so if you think about this, it looks like Miami will be tied for first place with Buffalo 7-3. So I think this could be an interesting game, especially when the season winds down. So I have Miami winning this in Denver. LA Rams, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I just think that Tom Brady is still, in my mind, the greatest quarterback of all time. You know, a lot of people have that conversation. Joe Montana, Aaron Rodgers, Steve Young, Peyton Manning, Brett Favre. Tom Brady, in my mind, is the greatest quarterback of all time. You can't compare it. You really can't. And a lot of people ask me, how do you not hate Brady? How do you not hate the Patriots? And I tell them it's because of 2 Super Bowls. You know, we were able to beat the Patriots in 2 Super Bowls. And for me, if we never beat the Patriots, I think I would have a lot of hatred for Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. I think that would have been the case. But because we beat them in 2 Super Bowls, there's no way I could ever hate Tom Brady. Because we beat him. You know, not many teams get to say, hey, we beat Tom Brady. Not many teams. And the New York Giants were able to do that twice. How rare is that, honestly? That is very hard to come by. Tom Brady would have had 9 Super Bowls without Nick Foles and Eli Manning. Just think about that. He's at 6 right now. I think he could get to 7. But when you think about that, if Eli Manning didn't beat him in 2007 and then 2011, and then Nick Foles in 2017, I believe, Brady would have 9 Super Bowls. So that really says a lot about his career, his performance, how he could beat any team he goes up against. Any team. Obviously, besides, Nick Foles. We saw it in the Thursday night game this past year. But, there's a lot of drama going on with that play. He didn't shake Foles' hand, so I really don't know what happened there. But Tom Brady, class act, one of the best quarterbacks in my mind, the greatest of all time. And I think that division now is wide open, especially with Brees going down to injury. And when you look at the top teams in the NFC, you have Seattle, you have Green Bay, you have Tampa Bay, you have the Saints, you have the Cardinals. I think that's going to be Brady's conference to lose. Unless Rodgers performs better than he does. Unless Kyler Murray outplays him. If there's a playoff matchup between the Cardinals and the Buccaneers, I think the Buccaneers would have the edge, but I still believe Brady's going to go to the Super Bowl this year. And I still believe he's going to win a Super Bowl this year or next year. So, if you were into betting, there's a game that I would bet. And honestly, I would take a chance with the Jets beating the Chargers. Just because I think that the Jets have to win a game sooner or later. And the Chargers, they're not consistent. They're 2-8, but they could have at least 7 wins right now. They're not that bad of a football team. They're just very inconsistent. So if you want to take your luck, I would definitely take the chance with the Jets and the Chargers game. That's just me. Anyway, thank you for listening to the Doug Sharago Show. Again, I just wanted to do my NFL picks for this week. I wasn't able to do it the last few weeks, but those are my picks, and I wish you all luck. Take care, guys.